forgive my very loud heater. I've got a torpedo heater going. It was 90 degrees here 2 days ago. It is currently 37 outside. And my shop's cold again, so I had to break out the heaters that I thought I had put up for the remainder of the year. We're back on the Mustang. Last video you saw, I pulled the skin off and decided that I'm going to save the stock door from the Mustang. I do have some things I've got to fix. Let me show you what I've got to fix on the inner panel before we actually get to fixing the overall door. This is the damage that was created. We had some rust here, and the individual who had the car sometime before me, may not have been the last owner, but it was one of them, just basically just caked it with about 1/8 inch of body filler. Not the way you do that, so I've got some rust repair to do there. I'm just going to clean this out, cut a small metal piece, graft it in, should be good to go. I've got a little rust hole right here, nothing major at all. I think I can just touch that up with weld itself and then grind it down. That'll be okay because it's quite thick. The main problem that I have is right here. After 60 years of the door slamming, you can see how this is supposed to be countersunk right there. This one is broken out. This is the 2 bolts that mount the door hinge. This is broken out. As a matter of fact, when I pulled the bolt out, this is the part that broke off. It's quite thin. I think my solution on this is going to be simple. If it works, I'm going to come in here and try to weld in a washer. I think that will work just fine. If that doesn't work, when I get ready to put the door back in, I may just put the washer right there. As a matter of fact, I may do that anyway, because this is really thin right there and I'm not sure I can get a weld on it. But if I put the washer there, yeah, when you open the door you'll be able to see it, but at the end of the day, it'll fix the problem. The main thing I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be cleaning up the rust on this using my rust encapsulating primer to coat it. That way it won't come back. The other thing on this is I did a lot of shopping online. I looked at normal vendors, Kentucky Mustang, which I like very, very much. Summit Racing, which is an old staple because they used to live in Dallas and they were always a drive away. Jegs is another one that I looked at, as well as other Mustang vendors like CJ Funny Parts. Considering their backorder issue with me, I decided not to go with them. All of them had the patch panel for the door skin ranging anywhere from about $52 up to about $90. The vast majority of them, all but one, as a matter of fact, required oversized shipping. That was an additional charge of $50 on a $60 panel, making it about $110. Still a good deal, and still cheaper than me driving all the way to Dallas to pick up one. Then I looked at Jegs. Jegs has a panel for $52.95 plus tax, regular free freight. No overcharge, no oversized upcharge. I ordered that panel from Jegs, should be here next week. Considering the fact that today is Saturday, late March, I don't know what day it is. I've got a video releasing today on removing the glass. The next video is going to be removing the skin on this. This one is going to be about 2 weeks in the making. I'm hoping that door skin will arrive before I release this video and we'll get this door completely done. But right now, we're going to clean up rust and get this thing coated in rust encapsulating primer. Let's get busy. Now, of course, since I'm going to be creating a lot of rust and a lot of dust, Bowen didn't know it.
Always use your PPE. Now stress this enough. Protect your lungs.
is I was able to turn my heater off. That way it's nice and quiet in here now. Just a little bit of brushing. You can see it's much cleaner now. With this rust encapsulating primer, you do not have to take it back to bare metal because the primer bonds to the rusty areas, thereby correcting it. So all you have to do is knock down the scale, which is what I've done here. Now, of course, it's still glossy because it's in the process of drying. You can see where it's starting to flash off there. It is protected. The rust will not come back. I know some people online, the online warriors out there, like to talk about how this is a lame way of doing things. You should paint, you should totally take it back, blah, blah, blah. I've used rust encapsulating primer for a long, long time. It has never failed me. It always works well. It's a good way to do things. It's a good solution, and it takes care of things. This does not show. It's got door panels on the inside, and of course the skin covers the outside. You will never see this. This is primarily just for protection to make sure that the surface rust does not come back. And it's protected because, of course, moisture and rain and everything will get down inside of this as well. So this is nice and protected now. I'm going to let that dry. And then the next step is we're going to table this. Hopefully within this same video, I will be able to get the door skin in and we will get going.
The next day.
Okay, this is about as far from pretty as you're ever going to get. But the good news is this does not show. The door overlap comes up to here. This is underneath at the very front. Got a little hole right here. I'm just going to seam seal. This is so thin, even with my amperage cut way back, it was still blowing holes in it up to here. It is so thin. I had to put some reinforcement behind it, but I can seam seal that tiny hole right there. It'll never show. Make it look good. Its knees. This right here, I can smooth this out. I'm going to wait until I get my door skin in so I know exactly what angle and arch and everything these need to have so I can fit it accordingly. Then I'm going to come in here, cover that up, make it look real nice. Disguise it, of course, because I'm a hack. And no, I don't want to hear any comments from real welders because I know I suck. That's a given. But this will do the trick. It's much stronger now. The hole is gone. And once everything is on there, you'll never know it's there. Well, we're moving on. My reinforcement plates arrived. They're going to work just fine. That's just a mock-up right there, but they will fix the damage. Just in case you don't know, 66 Mustangs, 65 Mustangs, early Mustangs, this is a common problem. 60 years of the door slamming, these crack out because this is thin metal here. This is a reinforcement plate. I'm going to put them on both the doors, that way it'll be done. That one, 2 of the 3 screws had pulled out, so it was a necessity. I am going to save this door, however, and I'm recording this on a Thursday. The door skin is supposed to be here the following Monday, so that's good news. The engine, this right here, forgive the dust on my intake manifold, but with the exception of the intake manifold, the block, the heads, And these, which are the connecting rods, are going to go to Dallas in about 3 weeks. The same weekend I go to the Pate Swap Meet, and that is going to be rebuilt. Fun stuff. So in the meantime, what I'm working on, I've actually already started, so they don't look quite like they did when I got them in, but I found on eBay strikes again, some stock 289 1966 valve covers. They need some love, so I am stripping them down, sanding them down, get them nice and smooth, and I'm going to prime and paint them, make them look as good as new. This is what they actually came looking like. You can see they got a little bit of rust on them. I'm going to prime them with the rust encapsulating primer. It's got the PCV valve rubber piece here, the grommet, and a cap which fits into place. These are stock parts. Going to make that engine with the air cleaner that I got look stock. Let's get busy. We're going to now continue stripping these down to try to get them painted. What you'll notice here, using the brush, I cleaned up this area right around in here because oftentimes, in this particular case, they had a lot of paint and everything on it. You'll notice also, old valve covers like this, sometimes they get torqued down a little bit too hard, like this right here, and it causes a divot and a dimple in the hole. I'm going to have to get a hammer and dolly and actually hammer that out. That way the valve cover seals properly. I haven't gotten all the paint out. I'm going to do a little bit more hand sanding in these harder areas, and then I'm going to clean it up and shoot some primer over it. This is smooth. Mainly I just wanted to get rid of the primer of the paint that was bad and flaking off, which I've done that for the most part. I've also got, I don't know if it was on this one. This one's pretty good. This one's got a couple of dings in it. Right here, I'm not going to be able to get this one out because it's inside of the baffling inside, but this one I can, and I'm going to use my air hammer to do that and be gentle with it. Otherwise, these are in really good shape. So let's see what I can do with that right there. As you can see, I'm going to be using my air hammer with a chisel. Okay, that got it started. I don't want to get too carried away with that because I don't want to actually damage the valve cover and make it leak. So I've got the edge out there. Now I'm going to get in here with a regular chisel and see if I can get that out. By the way, one thing I don't want to recommend, I use Harbor Freight tools for a lot of cheap stuff, you know, stuff that is expensive and I'm only going to use a handful of times. I don't recommend their chisels. This is a Harbor Freight chisel set. Not a very good, very high strength chisel set, and I do need to get some more. And as you can see, I still got a little bit of a damage right there. Let's see if I can get that out. With the hammering, I'm still getting some contamination out of the baffle. That's just part of it when you're using used gear like this, especially gear that's 60 years old. Okay. It's a little bit dimpled. It's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect. The good news is this is in the engine, and that's not going to show greatly. And these are budget valve covers. Now I'm going to go get my hammer and dolly and see if I can straighten out the dimples on this where it was over torqued. Again, this is the one that it needs to be worked on. I'm just going to simply put my dolly in there and just lightly hammer this to see if I can get this to flatten out. All the others look pretty good. So that will do on that one. These are good too. I actually got lucky. That was the only one that was really dimpled. I'm going to do just a little bit more on it just to make sure I got it fine tuned, and then we'll go from there. And that will do. Now the other one, like I said, had the hole on it for the cap. I'm not going to worry about taping that off. It won't get any paint really down into the speak of that's going to cause any damage. This, I don't want to get any paint on the grommet. I've cleaned most of the paint that was off of it from the last time these valve covers were painted. This grommet's still good, but it's a little bit hard because it's old, and I'd have to destroy it to get it out of there. There's no reason to do that. I'll just take it off. Windy out there. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is badly windy today. I have to say, working on that Cobra, my masking capabilities, while still not that great, are a lot better than they were. Okay, that's sealed off. Let's shoot some primer. Now again, I did not strip it down completely, but it is smooth, flicked off. All the shipping paint is going away, and I'm going to be putting a couple of coats of primer over it so it'll look fine. First coat of primer is going to be the rust encapsulating, then I'm going to put just a regular gray primer on it after that, to smooth everything out and make it look nice. You gotta love a rattle can restoration. Now the cap, I'm going to set on top of this plastic because I want it to cover the bottom. I'm only going to paint the top side of it. And since that's going to be black, I think this will be the only coat of primer I put on that. Okay, let's let that dry, come back and hit it again. Okay, that has a lot of the intake has a lot of residual dust left on it from all the body work I did. That's not going to be a problem. I can clean that off, no big deal. They're still wet, still glossy, but as you can see, sanded down, I've got a nice even coat on things. Yeah, they've got some dings here and there, but overall, they're going to look really, really nice. And more importantly, make this engine look like a stock C-code 2-barrel 289, which is exactly what I wanted. Now, of course, I'll pull the tape off of it, and from where I taped up the grommet for the PCV valve, positive crankcase ventilation valve. There you go. I'll pull the tape off of it once it's dry, but I'm going to let it dry overnight, and I'm going to go ahead and call this a video. What we're waiting on is we're waiting on the door skin. For this, it'll be here in a few days. Once that's done, I'm going to put the door back together. I am going to the paint swap meet in 3 weeks, the end of April, and that is going to Dallas with me to get a total rebuild. We're getting there. Transmission's painted, valve covers are painted, intake's painted, air cleaner's painted. I have to acquire an oil pan. Not that difficult. They're $50, $75 depending on who you buy them from. We'll get one of those on the way as well. I'm also going to use a gasket kit using the one-piece oil pan gasket because I'm tired of the cork 3-piece and 4-piece gaskets leaking on me. So I'm going to be sure and put a high-quality Felpro one-piece oil pan gasket on this as well. Stick around, hit like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.